This demo session, we are going to talk about the basic concepts of ABAP on HANA. It's a live demo session and a kickstart of our new batch of 2022 on latest and updated content on ABAP on HANA come S4 HANA. We are going to look at in next 1 hour demo session the core concepts of SAP ABAP on HANA followed by a short demo into the system. One of my students asked me a question, Anubhav, what are you investing in this new year of 2022? Is it the gold? Is it the cryptocurrency? Is it the property? What are you buying? I answer, I will be investing in myself because any investment which you do outside can give you betrayal. But an investment which is done on your self learning is always going to repay. With that thought, let's get started with our demo session today. What are we expecting in this next 1 hour demo session? We will understand the developer persona for this demo session for ABAP on HANA. Who is this course for? We will discuss the overview of this training. What are we going to cover in this training in a brief? And we will see our use case for the demo session. Followed by that, we will have frequently asked questions by many of you. And finally, a round of question and answers. I would request all of you to please listen to me for next 40 hours. It's my humble request. And once the next 40 to 50 hours are done, 50 minutes are done, I will open up the channel for live question and answers. So all your questions which you have in your mind will be answered today. So let's get started. First, let's understand what's our developer persona. Who is this training for? So if you are an ABAP consultant and willing to embrace the change into the technology and make your existing ABAP code run faster on HANA, this training is going to help you. If you are a BW consultant and seeing a shift towards S4 HANA, where your companies are switching away from BW system and adopting S4 HANA and willing you to develop CDS views to build analytics and consume these analytical views into different OLAP tools like Analytics Cloud, this training is going to help you. If you are a Scrum professional who would like to understand how to estimate HANA-based development and projects, estimate it better for the future and lead the team towards the technical guidance, this training is also for you. Or finally, you are any SAP consultant and technical enthusiast who would willing to build your career going forward in S4 HANA and want to learn end-to-end Fiori app development on CDS views and exploit the HANA's computational power, this training is also going to help you out. Coming to the course overview, we will be completing this training into 4 different phases. In the first phase, we are going to start development tools. What development tools are we using? SAP GUI is no more the main tool for developing in S4 HANA. We have tools like Business Application Studio and ADT tool, which we use to develop S4 HANA applications. We will talk about these tools, setup and server access. We will learn new ABAP syntax, SQL syntax, different frameworks like BOF, IDA, and fuzzy search. In the phase 2, we are going to lead our journey towards S4 HANA from ECC, what it means for your company to go to S4 HANA, how do you adapt your custom code, which is running in your company on S4 HANA, and leverage the full power of S4 HANA CDS views, so-called VDM, virtual data models. We will also understand the technical architecture of SAP HANA database, how it functions and how it meets ABAP system, and all the intricacies of connection between ABAP and HANA, and what it means for you as a developer to build on HANA database. As I told you that this course doesn't require any prerequisites on SAP HANA knowledge. We are going to cover SAP HANA also for you in this training. If you've never worked on HANA, don't worry. All the basics of HANA is also part for you in this course. In the last phase, we're going to do a complete CDS development training with CDS entities, ABAP managed data procedures, O data services, and building analytical Fiori applications, including consumption of these data models in Analytics Cloud. So this is a brief overview. You can also go and check out the course content on our website for more details. However, you have specific questions on what we are covering and not covering, we will lead to those questions towards the end of today's class. So what we have today for you in this demo, pandemic is a reality and we are getting more and more into this pandemic. Every time, every new year, we have a new variant of COVID-19, and this time it's the Omicron. So countries are struggling to get rid of COVID-19, and now we are seeing new variants with new outbreaks in different countries and locations. Our goal today for S4 HANA consultant is to design an analytical report on top of COVID-19 data which is stored in my SAP system. I took this use case because it's easy to relate to the real time and make it understand to all of you. So I've already uploaded some data in my S4 HANA system and will be utilizing this data to analyze COVID-19 variants. What do you expect at the end of the session today? You would expect this kind of application which comes out, which composed of a filter bar for searching the data, a simple chart control to show some analytics, and finally the reporting data in form of a table. You can think of a typical GUI transaction which you traditionally used to develop. Now we are going on this in the browser. And what you guess is right, it's a Fiori app. So Fiori is the new S4 HANA user experience for our users. We will see how can we utilize S4 HANA system to build this kind of amazing application in next 30 minutes. You can see it is showcasing the different variants data, and Omicron variant is having the highest number of cases as of now in this case. How are we going to achieve this? What are our steps to achieve this? We're going to start our development tool called ADT. We will connect to our S4 HANA system. We will build our CDS view today. CDS views are nothing but new data model concepts in S4. They are used to define semantically rich data model in S4 HANA system. In traditional time, we used to write SQL to fetch the data. Nowadays, we use CDS views. We will write a simple CDS to make you understand. Then we will annotate that. Finally, we will build a O data service. Why do we need this? So as I told you that we're going to build a Fiori app. And in order to build a Fiori app, O data protocol is the new protocol for exposing the data out of your system on the internet, where browser applications can consume your system data. Don't worry if you don't know OData service. We will also cover basics and complementary OData units in our classes. Finally, we will use an analytic list page to show this data in analytical form to the end user. Please note, it's a demo session. Some of you might not understand a single bit of it today, but as and when we will go deep dive inside our classes, each class we will explain in detail all these topics. But since I wanted to keep a simple demo session which is understandable and end-to-end coverage, I took this example. Some of you might find it very difficult today to digest this example, as I will do, but it will give you a good overview of what kind of applications are possible nowadays with S4 HANA. So before we get into the real development, let's talk about quickly the design. What are we going to do? It's going to be very simple development. We will start first with a simple CDS view on top of our database table. So I have a database table ZATS Anubhav trainings underscore CO COVID-19 variant data. On top of this table, I will be creating a CDS view, which is going to aggregate the data, aggregate the cases. So I will put here ZATC CO cube. Now, why I call it as a cube view? So because it is going to aggregate the number of cases per country, per date. Hence, I call it as a cube type of view. Those who come from BW system, this is equivalent to a DSO. Then we create on top of it another CDS view, which is going to be a analytic query. That's what we are going to do. And then let's give some name to this. Yes. And now as a developer, what tools are we going to use to develop these things? We are also going to discuss. So we will expose this data via the O data service. As I told you that Fiori app runs in browser and it only understand O data. So we will be using a Fiori application today. We will build a Fiori app No matter if you've never worked on Fiori, it will be super easy to build a Fiori app in just next 30 minutes. As a developer, what tools are we going to use today? I will not show the installation of these tools today. In tomorrow's class, we will cover the installation of these tools, but I will already use them today. The first tool we're going to use called ADT, ABAP Development Tool on Eclipse. This tool I'm going to connect to build our CDS views. Then the next tool which I'm going to use is called Business Application Studio tool as a developer. This tool is predominantly used to build Fiori applications. We will cover the detailed setup and access of these tools in our next class. But today we already use this and we will build this use case for a demo. Let's switch over back to my system and open my database table. And this is going to be COVID-19 variants table, where I will show you the demo data which I've already prepared for today's demo session. So I will go to my system. This is the Eclipse tool, or so-called ABAP development tools in Eclipse, which we typically use nowadays to develop applications and manage applications in S4 HANA. This is my database table, you can see. And in this table, I have data like a primary key field. Then we have here the date on which the cases were announced, the country in which it was announced, which variant it was announced, how many cases were announced, and what is the current status of these cases. This is the data I have in my database table. It's very simple and easy to understand use case, which all of you can relate to real time rather than going too much complexity at the moment. Now let's create our first CDS view. So CDS stands for Core Data and Services. We will build our first CDS view as per the design, which is of type cube. I will switch over back to the system and right click on my local object and create new, and I will search for Core Data and Services. So this is the new way in SAP system to expose ERP data out. In the past, we used to use SQL. It's very similar to SQL as it's considered as extension for SQL itself. So I will create a cube view for COVID-19 VARS data, and we click on next button, and we'll use this tiny wizard to generate a template for the CDS view. You can see system automatically generates a code snippet, which is a good to start for building our first CDS view into the system. Now, these block of sections are called annotations in CDS, which is what makes CDS views very special in S4 HANA system. We will cover these annotations more in detail in our unit number 12, 13, and 14. But just understand they give special meaning to the data object which we build. The first one here is called SQL name. So whenever you create a CDS view in ABAP system and activate this, it is going to create a runtime object in HANA database. What will be the name of that runtime object in HANA database? That name we have to give here at the place of SQL view name. So let me give some name. And now I will use my data source as my database table, which we already created. And we do control space to do code completion. Now I will include all the elements of my database table with one enter, and it adds all the elements. The next thing we will do here, we will take the questions towards the end of the demo, guys, whether it is technical or related to the course. Please allow me to continue, else it will become very difficult to answer everything in the middle. Thank you. Okay, so next thing which we will do now, we want to here total the number of cases per country for the purpose of analytics. Hence, we use another annotation called default aggregation as sum. I will try to keep my demo very short, so majority of your questions can be answered. That is what my goal for this demo today. I'm sure a lot of you have lots of questions, and I would want to make sure that maximum time will be yours, not mine. So, but for that, I need to do my demo first, and then we will do the question answers. Okay, let's activate this, and that's it. This is my first view. I will also mark this view as analytic category as cube view to tell the system that this view is responsible for totaling the cases per country per date. Next, as per our design, we're going to build our next view, which is a query view. Let's go ahead and do that. We will copy the current view name and create another view Z analytic query for COVID. This is a special type of view type query. A query is equivalent to a BAX query in BW system. Those who come from BW, you can understand that. But anyway, we will also cover the basics of CDS in our unit number 10 and 11. That time you'll be more comfortable. Okay, coming back, now we will again give a view name here. And now we will choose the properties which we have got from the below view. Our next step is to make this view as a analytic query with a special annotation called analytics.query equal to true. A analytic query is a special type of view in S4 HANA system to supply data to analytical tools, for example, SAP Analytics Cloud or embedded analytics. We will cover this in unit number 16 and 17 in our course. Next, we will have here another annotation to expose it as a OData. And this will now create also a service for us. What is the need of a service? As I told you that whenever we want to build a Fury application runs on browser, either on tablet, mobile or desktop. To use this application, we will have a OData service. So that's why we are creating a OData service over here. So let's put this annotation and it is automatically going to create a OData service for us. It's time to activate the CDS and congratulations, you have successfully created two of your first CDS views. This OData service needs to be registered now because it's created automatically. So we need to register, for which I need to go to SAP GUI. The beauty is in this tool, you can open a GUI session directly. We're going to learn this tool in our next class. The intricacies of all ATT tools will be covered in the next class. So we go to transaction code IWFND, main service. The idea is to showcase you the capabilities in this demo. Of course, you all will be able to do it yourself in the main class when we start tomorrow. Okay, so now I will just register the service. A service registration is a one-time activity which confirms that you really want to expose this data outside to another ERP system. That's what it does. So we will put our service name and you will see a service is auto generated. We will just register this service in our local object. That's all. Congratulations. Now you have successfully exposed your company data on the internet. Yes, it has created a service. How do I check that? So we go to the outline view and here we see this OData service. We can right click and open and that will launch my OData service on the UI, on the browser actually. So you can see this is our OData service, which is exposing the data out on the internet from our ERP system. Our next step is to build a Fiori application on top. To do that, as I told you, we will use the BAS tool, Business Application Studio. It's a state-of-the-art web-based IDE provided by SAP to develop Fiori applications out of the box and also freestyle Fiori application. So we will now use this BAS tool. I've already set up that, but in our training, I'm going to explain you the BAS tool in session number 9 more in detail, including its setup. So let's go there to the BAS tool. It's already running in my computer. And I will just open. You can see we don't need to install anything in our computer to use BAS tool. It's right away available on the internet. And now we will just open our Business Application Studio tool. Here on the Business Application Studio tool, we are going to develop a analytic list page application. This analytic list page application is going to consume my COVID-19 data, which I just exposed from my SAP S4 HANA system. To be able to do that, now I'm going to click on create a new project from template. So you don't need to know Fiori at all to build Fiori applications when it comes to S4 HANA. Okay, and here we choose a Fiori application. It's super duper easy and completely through wizard options. There is zero coding involved here. And now I will use a analytic list page application, ALP, we call it as in short. Next, we will now choose our data source. So in our chapter number 10, I will show you connectivity of BAS tool with your ERP system. You all will be able to use your company system to connect from the BAS tool. For time being, I have already done the connection before this class started for my system. You will all be able to do connection with your company system in this training at real time. I will choose this connection which I've already created to my company system, where I have just developed this data set and expose the data set. And now I will just go and grab the service name. This is our service name. I'm just going to copy that, which was created by the annotation, and we will put the service name. So basically what we are doing, we are first building CDS views to expose data from database table, and then we are building OData to consume this data over the browser in the Fiori application. That's what essentially we are doing. So now I click next, and it is just populating couple of properties. We don't touch and click next. And now we will give our application name. So let's give an application name. Maybe I will give it as COVID-19 var or COVID-19 var. So COVID var, and we will give the title for my application also. Just give some title. Some of you might finding it difficult to digest today. My goal was not to take you through the basics. My goal was to show you one end-to-end demo, that what is that we are capable of doing with S4 HANA today. That was my goal in the demo, so that you get a big picture of what exactly and how exactly things will work in the company going forward, what kind of applications we are capable of building in real time in SAP systems nowadays. So that was my goal for the demo, not just to take you through the little basic reports or select query and all that. So now you can see the application is created on the left side. There is an application which was generated by the system, COVID var. We're going to expand this application, and we don't have to touch anything. This is our first Fiori application, which is now ready. As a next step, what I just need to do is to test this application in my local browser. To be able to do that, I quickly need to wait until all the dependencies are installed, which are now done. System did the installation of all the required dependencies to run this project. And now I can right click and say preview this application in my dev environment. Yes. So this should now start a web browser for us, and it should start a first Fiori application. So imagine in the past we used to write select query, load data in the internal table, loop at the internal table, do a ALV or write the data. But now we don't have to do all that. It's all done, and it's all ready, and it's all Fiori, which can run on mobile, tablet, any device, anytime, anywhere, any operating system, any platform. That's the main USP of adopting Fiori. Customers who don't adopt Fiori, they will be deprived from the benefits of S4 HANA innovations in their landscape. So this is a bold statement in the TechEd 2022. Okay, now coming back, yeah, there you go. But it doesn't look like a fancy application. It looks very raw. So what we do is we click this adopt filter button, and I'm going to choose some filter criterias. For example, countries, companies, or set of fields which I want. So I will choose date, status, or variant name, and you will see the fields will appear on the screen in few seconds. Yes, there they are. And I will also choose some columns on my table. So on what date, how many cases have come, what's the status, and which variant cases have come. And I click go button, it will fire a select query behind the scene. Basically it's calling service calls CDS calls a select, and it has loaded all my data. But you saw when I started this application, it was kind of very raw, and the user got to go back to adopt filter button, and user got to go back to this settings icon. All that user got to do to be able to see the data. Yes, but I don't want that to happen every time. I don't want user to do this every time. So that's where again the CDS power comes into picture. So if I refresh, you see all my settings will disappear because it doesn't retain that information. So this is why CDS views in SAP. CDS views are semantically rich data model. Now you will see the benefits of CDS view in real time when it comes to building Fiori apps. So if I refresh, you'll see all my settings will disappear. It will not show my selection field. It will not show my table. Nothing will be shown actually. But next time, what I need to do is I need to write something in my CDS to be able to get the default one. You see, it's not showing anything anymore. So we go back to the CDS. This is the CDS view we've built. And now watch out. I want certain fields to be selection fields. So I will go back and put a annotation UI selection field position 1. Please show this as a first field. Please show this as a second field, and please show this as a third field on the user interface, and please show the current status as a fourth field on the user interface. This will be my selection field. But what about table columns? So we'll put another annotation, and you see code completion is really helping me. So I will use line item. Please show this as my first column. This is my second column. This is my third column. This is my fourth column, and last one is my fifth column. Please do that. I will just instruct my CDS. That's all. Congratulations. We will just activate now, and now you will see magic will happen if I switch over back to my Fiori app and refresh. So you see all is done in CDS, and the system is going to automatically fulfill the criteria, and it's automatically going to get the content for us on the UI. So that's what the system will do now. In few seconds you will see that. So we how many selection fields we created? We created one, two, three, and yeah, four selection fields will come. And let's see this. It's booting up, and now let's see what do we get. There you go. You can see we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Exactly 4 fields, and we got 5 columns. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Awesome. So this is what was done by the system automatically by interpreting my CDS content. I click on go button, and it fetches the data. I don't have to write any select query, any nested query. It does all the slicing, dicing, searching, filtering, sorting, searching. All of it will be done out of the box. You don't have to write classical ABAP code for that. Let me show you some benefits. So if I go and search for India, press enter, you will see it should filter all the cases in India. There you go. I would like to see all the cases on Omicron. So I will go and put variant name Omicron, and now it will do the filtering. So imagine in the past we used to write nested select queries, deep select queries, sub queries. We need to construct dynamic where clause to do all that. And here it's all done out of the box with a blink of an eye. And you can also see here Excel export and all this out of the box feature. What is the next thing? I want to also give a analytical perspective to my business users. So I want to show a beautiful chart here in this space. To be able to do that, again, we will go back to our CDS and we will add a chart annotation. So let's add a chart annotation. We're going to learn all these annotation in unit number 14, 15, and 16, especially for Fiori elements, relevant annotations. So you all will be able to build amazing Fiori apps in your company and mesmerize your managers and your end users in this training. Okay, so how do we build chart in school days? In school days, when you want to build a chart, you used to have x-axis, we used to have y-axis, right? This is how we used to build in school days. So x-axis is your category axis. This is where we put all the values, and y-axis was your value axis where you put all the numbers. So this is same thing is called in SAP world, this is called dimension, and in SAP world this value is called measure. So for example, I want to calculate marks of a student in different subjects. So I will put here English, I will put mathematics, and I will put, let's say, social science. So you can see we used to put the values here 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, and so on. And this is how we used to plot a chart. So on x-axis, which are categories, we put dimension. And on y-axis, which are values, we used to put these measures. So the same thing we're going to do here in this chart annotation now. So we are going to use, for example, variant, which is a predominant property for me to calculate analytics. So I want to know how many cases are coming for each variant, Omicron, Delta, Alpha, Beta, Gamma, for different variants. So this is going to be my x-axis. And then of course, number of cases, which is this one, is going to be my y-axis, which is my number actually. And if you remember, we've already aggregating these numbers in our internal view, which is composite view, where we've already done the sum. So we've given an annotation to do a sum out there. So let's go ahead and now provide all these x-axis and y-axis. So we will first put the chart type. I'll put as column chart. Then I will put my dimension and I will say it's variance. Then I put my measure, which is my value axis. I will say number of cases. And then I will say dimension should be projected as variant on my axis. Please plot variant on my x-axis. And the role is going to be axis category. Superb. Please put my measure on the y-axis. So measure attributes. This is going to be a measure, which is number of cases. And please plot it on my y-axis. So role is going to be axis 1, which is y-axis 1. And it is going to come as a data point so that it's a measure. It's connected as a number. Yeah, cool. So that's all you got to do. And now let's activate the CDS view. Switch over back to the application and just kind of refresh this application so that it reloads all the information automatically. Yeah. So in few seconds, you will see magic will happen. Once again, system is going to read all the necessary data along with the beautiful chart which we are expecting for cases per variant. That's the goal of this exercise today in this demo. Okay, so it's coming up and there you go. We've got selection criteria, we got the table, and but still there's no chart. Of course, until I press go button, it won't. I click go button and let's see what happens. Something is cooking. Boom! There you go. An amazing chart right away comes out there. You can change the chart axis. For example, a bar chart. You have complete sorting, searching, filtering, slicing, and dicing of data. You can see the number of cases. I would like to sort them in ascending order. No problem. We can go back. We can say number of cases. Please sort them based on number of cases. Kindly please sort them in descending order. Click OK. And it all does at real time. Boom! Omicron has highest number of cases at the moment. Delta is the second one.
Oh,
Alpha, non-WHO, others, and all the different variants. And the best part, which I love about it, if I click Omicron, you will see this table. It's going to filter all the data for Omicron in the table. I click on this and voila, there you go. You can see it's slicing and dicing the data right out there on my data set by clicking on this chart. It's fully interactive. We can different choose the different chart types like pie chart, bar chart, column chart, stack chart, area chart, bullet chart, vertical chart, stack bar chart, waterfall chart, stack bar 100% chart, vertical chart, column chart, bar chart, line chart. Different types of charts, heat map chart. You can utilize and build it right out there on the system. This is something which is phenomenal, which is changing the way we are developing SAP application on this planet with SAP ERP. And that's the power of SAP S4 HANA, CDS views, and OData. We're going to learn all of this from basics, from scratch, with ground zero in this training. This was just a preview of what can you expect by the end of 40 hours. What are you capable of building by the end of 40 hours in this amazing training which we are starting today. I hope you enjoyed this demo. It's time to go to some of the frequently asked questions by many of you. I'm sure you all have a lot of questions. We're going to answer them. But before that, let me answer some of the important questions which was already asked by many of you in the past. The first question comes here. Do I need to have a prior knowledge on SAP HANA for this training, Anubhav? No. This training covers HANA Foundation also. Zero knowledge on HANA, you can be just out of ABAP, no problem. You can learn this training. There is no HANA prerequisite. I will cover every single topic related to HANA in this training so that you get well versed with it. How much of ABAP knowledge is required for this training? So as far as ABAP is concerned, you should know data dictionary, basics of internal table, basic ABAP syntax, function modules. That's all you need. That too only 30%. So only 30% of this training require this knowledge. Rest 70% of the course is as new as for anyone else. Anyone who come from non-ABAP background can also learn. Only 30% of this training, where we'll cover new ABAP syntax and ABAP related topics, some of the advanced ABAP topics, we will need this. Otherwise, CDS view and all, if you want to learn, no ABAP is required because CDS syntax is completely different from ABAP. So rest all the topics, about 70% of the course doesn't require any ABAP knowledge. I am from BW background, BI background. I am a BI BW consultant. Can I also learn ABAP on HANA? Yes, you can. And you must. Because now the future is S4 HANA. In S4HANA, we have embedded analytics, which completely depends on CDS views. So this is one topic which you should eye on as a BW consultant to spike in your career going forward. Otherwise, there will be very, very hard time going forward in this year and coming years for BW consultants. How much of the deep knowledge of OOPS ABAP is required? Nothing much. Basics of class interface, if you know, that's more than enough. You don't need too much of OOPS ABAP at all for this training actually. What about server access? So server access, there are two options. You can use your company server. If you feel you don't have your company server or your company is not yet on S4HANA, you want to practice this training with me like I did today, you can do end-to-end practice. We will arrange server for you. We have a dedicated session, which is next to next class, class number 3, where I'm going to cover 1 hour class only on server access. What options do we have? How do we connect? How do we adapt? What are all the different ways to connect to the server? If you are an independent consultant working on United States or Canada, you don't have a company yet, you don't have a contract, you don't have a server at the moment, don't worry. Anubhav training will bring you everything at one umbrella. You all will be able to practice. It's my promise. You all will be able to do hands-on in this training. We will discuss about server access in our next to next class more in detail. It's my promise that everyone will go out of this training will have a hands-on experience on S4HANA. So we will cover about server access more in detail in our next coming classes. Yes, so we do have server access and we will be able to provide you server access as well if you need. If you need. Okay, which version of HANA and S4HANA are we going to use in this training? We're going to use latest 2021 release 2021-09, which is S4HANA on-premise, HANA 2.0 and ABA layer. Latest NetWeaver 7.53 is what I will be utilizing for this training. So you will learn all the latest concepts. How is this course going to, how much of this course we're going to spend time on CDS view? Because my goal is to learn CDS view. Around 40% to 50% of the time we will spend on CDS and related concepts like SQL script, ABAP managed data procedure. You will become master in CDS views, including virtual data model VDM in S4HANA. You will become master of all of that in this course. Do I need prior OData knowledge? No. I will provide complimentary OData classes to you, complimentary OData session videos, so that you will be able to get well versed with OData service also in this training. So that also I will be providing it to you. Can I also take this course in video mode as the timing doesn't suit me? Yes, why not? Sure. You can go and opt already completed batch, latest batch which was completed last month. We have recorded all those classes. You can actually go through that. You can take this complete training in video mode. If your company is kind of urging you to speed up the learning, you can go in video mode because that way you can learn through videos as fast as possible because classes will go with their own pace. However, live classes has a different level of energy. Certainly, some people would say, I want to be bound to live classes. It gives me a new energy. It gives me a different feeling of learning. So yes, certainly live classes are always advantageous. But if somebody is kind of in a big soup and they really wanted to learn and speed up their learning much faster, or the timing doesn't suit them, or they have a busy schedules on the weekend, probably you can go with video mode. Even after every class which we conduct in this batch, we will record every class like this one and we will publish the video for you in our training blog access. So you all will be able to access the video, review the video even after the class for the current batch as well. So it's your choice which batch you wanted to join, already completed or the ongoing one. What tools do I need to practice in this training? So we will use ADT. Of course, I will teach you in the next class how to set up ADT in your computer, in your personal laptop or company laptop. We will do that in the next class. We will see that how to set up this tool. Along with that, we will use the BAS tool, Business Application Studio, to build Fury apps like we did today. How do I join this course? Very simple. Just email us on contact@anubhavtrainings.com. for signing up. Some of you I already know that signed up. Yes, you would have already got the invite for the next class, which is tomorrow. Those who have not yet completed their registration, please complete that before tomorrow so that you all will be able to get well versed and get started with this course. So this was it from my side on the demo. I hope you enjoyed. Some parts of the demo would have gone bouncer for you because you are pretty new to these concepts. But my idea was to quickly take you through this journey and have a quick demo session actually to get you an idea overall. So this is how, with that, we wrap up the demo. Nothing can dim the light that shines from within. So that's the key message for the demo session today. Thank you so much once again for joining this demo session with me today. It's time for your questions, but please ask one by one only. We have all 1 hour for your questions now.
Hi,
Hello.
Anubhav.
Hi, hi,
Ladies first.
Yeah,
Hi.
Anubhav, I have Apple laptop. So can I do the installation in Apple laptop? Is that okay? Means will you teach that how to install the server and everything?
So server we will not be installing because server would need like almost 600 to 800 gigs of RAM and 2 petabytes of
Okay.
memory. But we will connect to the server, and for which you need SAP GUI. So for Mac, I don't have experience in installing SAP GUI. You have to check online to install SAP GUI. But yes, Eclipse installation we will be able to. You will be able to follow through the class. I don't have much experience with Mac laptops, so that's something you have to
Okay.
explore yourself when it comes to SAP GUI. I guess it works. SAP GUI works on Mac, but you have to do it yourself. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anubhav.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. This is Sonika.
Yes, Lonika. Yeah.
Hel- Yeah, sir, this is an excellent demo, I must say. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I want to ask you that I am 5 years of experience in ABAP right now and in ABAP development.
Mhm.
So how is this course will going to help me, gonna help me if I want to, want a spike in my career? So that's my question is
Very good question.
how
So,
much is relevant to my, yeah.
mhm. So most of the companies have to move
Uh,
to S4 HANA. SAP has given a deadline of 2029 is when the business suite support will end. So when the business suite support will end,
okay.
what will happen? Every company has to migrate their ERP solution to S4 HANA. So when it goes to S4 HANA, there will be increasing demand continuously for S4 HANA consultants in the
Mhm.
market. And it's already happening. A lot of companies and customers are looking for S4 HANA
Yes.
implementation consultant or S4 HANA consultants. There is a lot of different kinds of work. We will discuss about the roles and responsibilities of an S4 HANA consultant in our unit number 4, where you will understand where it is going to help you to position your resume in a company. But just to show you some examples, some of my existing students have really done it pretty well. Some of them really cracked multiple job offers in the market, and currently the IT market is really booming. People are taking good hikes and they are cracking lots of interviews, and they are attending these classes, and they are really helping. You can see a lot of people, a lot of students of mine who have attended, they have cracked multiple interviews on after attending these courses. So it is certainly going to help you, and you can position yourself as a S4 HANA technical consultant, which is having a really good
Yes.
demand in the market.
Yes, sir. I really want to do that because right now I am in okay, I'm with hardcore ABAP, which is DDIC, WebDAM Pro, workflow and all this. So I really want to shift my career in a
So
good
WebDin Pro is also
position.
an obsolete technology. Nobody is developing on GUI
Yeah.
based on PBO, PAI or WebDin Pros. Most of the companies are looking forward. If you go to Naukri, Monster or all the job portal websites, then you will observe
Yeah.
that majority of the companies are looking for S4HANA consultant with CDS experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, true, sir. And so this course also give me a exposure to EY5 or and BOPF,
Yes, so
all
BOP
that.
CDS integration we will also cover, plus also Fiori with Fiori elements we will cover. So Fiori also has two types: Freestyle Fiori app and Fiori Elements app. In this training, predominantly we'll cover Fiori Elements
Okay.
app like you saw in the demo. So those kind of application doesn't require
Okay.
too much intense knowledge on UI5. So we will use annotations to build them. So that part we will cover. If somebody is interested to learn Freestyle Fury app, you can join my UI5 and Fury training, which is also going to start end
Okay,
of
sir.
this month. So that is something which I would not recommend
Okay, sir.
at the moment. Please complete each course one by
Yes,
one.
sir. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Okay, sir. So this is relevant to my case also. That is what I wanted
Yes.
to ask you. So- Okay,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Next question, please.
Hi Anubhav,
Hmm?
I am actually SAP Analytics developer. So is this course is related with the S4 HANA embedded analytics too? So can we in this course can we still explore some analytics part like SSC connecting CDS views with SSC and all?
Yes. So you will not just learn building CDS views and exposing your ERP data to the embedded analytics or different analytical tools like analytics cloud you mentioned, but we will also see consumer perspective. Consumer perspective means how do you consume it analytics cloud. So analytics cloud has 5 pillars, which is KPI modeler, analytic list page, overview page, and then we have query browser. And so these are the different options we have. So in this course we will cover 3 of the important pillars, which are query browser, ALP, and OVP. So you will be able to do that as well by the end of this course.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Anubhav. This is Amaya.
Hi, Amir.
A few of the things I already know. I've been working in S4 HANA from past 4 years. I have been part of 2 to 3 implementation, but I don't have much confidence in the CDS. I have created a basic CDS views, but what you showed in the starting of the demo, that is what I want to learn basically, the consumption view, analytical view, and creating a Fiori app out of it. So that is the main goal of my training. I just wanted to know that will you be covering the RAP as well into it?
No, RAP is a different module. You can subscribe that. So on my website, we have different modules. So we have ABAP on HANA, which is the current course, where we will look at
Hmm.
CDS, BOPF, CDS development, VDMs, the core, the learning of core things, which are backbone of everything which you do. Then we
Right.
have RESTful
Hmm.
application programming model, RAP. That is a separate
Right.
course altogether. So that is a different training. After completing this training, and once you have a strong base on the strong foundation on the CDS view, you can go for the RAP training as a next module.
Okay.
Mhm.
At the end of this course, I would expect that I would be means kind of if I do a practice from mind, obviously. So it will be like I would be able to create one Fiori application using an CDS,
Not one,
which might
more
include.
than more than 4 to 5
Yes.
Fury applications we will be building in this course with
Okay.
proper use cases.
Okay, okay. And it will include, I can see now you have already included analytical view. Then we have like interface view and consumption view, such kind of things as well, which I know.
Yes.
Uh, so those things will also be covered, right?
Yes, so we will cover interface, basic interface, composite, then private and consumption and composite views. So how do you interpret standard SAP views also? We will be covering all of that also in this training.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
So continuing that question, would you be covering like crude operations as well? Like
Yes.
maybe an example of sales
So
order
in
create
BOPF, we
using.
will be building a end-to-end application which will do end-to-end insert, update, delete, including determination, validations, and also the calculation with actions. So all of that we will also be covering as part of our course.
And is there an
Uh,
option to download your videos too? Like because after
No,
6 months, surely I'll forget
download option
what I
used
learned.
to give in the past, like 4 year, 5 year ago. People started
Uh-huh.
downloading and circulating it. So we stopped giving download. You have 8 months of
Can I
access for
have
the video.
access to
Yes.
your online material forever, or how does that
Yes.
work then?
Material access you can download and keep it with you forever. Videos access you will have for 8 months.
Oh.
Hi Anubhav, this is Madhu.
Hi.
Actually, I have taken the course. I have already paid the amount, but I have not received the link for tomorrow's class. Today's class, I sent a mail to
Hmm.
send the link. I got the link. But for tomorrow, because after listening to you, I got to know that the tomorrow's link also is being sent by, but I have not yet received the mail.
Don't worry. So you will see something like a blog access, which you would have certainly received in an email from my team side. And in that blog access, basically we are providing the calendar link where it's a self-service. So you will be able to join the class yourself from the calendar link directly. So let me.
Yes, Anubhav, but I have requested for the. I have got the link, but I'm having the old videos.
Okay, I think you would have opted for video mode training then. Please ask them to port
No,
you to
no.
the live training.
Okay, okay, Anubhav.
Okay?
I'll send a
Just
mail
send them an
to
email.
port me to the live.
Yes. And ask them
Sorry.
that you want to join live batch, not the video mode training. So they will port your account to live batch. Okay.
Okay, okay, Anubhav. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Anubhav.
Yes,
Satish.
please.
Something like technical question only. Okay, you created the OData service and you have showed in the Fieri app. What is the difference between SCGW? I mean, generally we in SAP GUI SCGW transaction will do, right? And you have
Yes.
taken some other transaction code.
Good
So
question.
what
This
is
is
the
something
difference?
which
Yeah, what is
only one person can ask who has worked on OData in the past. So I'm sure you have worked on OData. Let me explain
yep.
quickly. There are two ways to create OData service. So SAP is a product company. I would request please mute your line, everyone. Thank you. So when it comes to building OData service, it's a little technical question. Those who have never worked on OData, they can ignore this question for time being. So in SAP world, there are two OData services. So SAP is a product company. It is used across lots of industries and across the globe. Almost 68% world GDP runs on SAP. So it's such a big company. So SAP, whenever they introduce something, a technique or approach or technical guidance or a product, they develop the product by keeping market in mind. They don't consider one customer or one location or one particular country in mind. They develop a product by keeping entire market in mind. So when you think of a market, when you think of a complete arena where people will be using different approaches and different things, they will give different options. So to create OData service also, there are different options SAP has provided. Whichever company, industry and location you are working, you can decide what is best suitable for you. So you will all agree that if I have to do some work or if I have to go from A to B, I can reach to A to B from different ways. I can take this path, I can take this path, I can take this path, I can take this path. But eventually I will reach to B. Depending on my need, depending on my requirement, I will decide which path to take. Similarly, when it comes to OData, there are different ways to build it. One approach is SEGW. This is an approach which is used for freestyle services, where you want to build complete custom coding with all the entity type, entity set, everything you want to code yourself. Complete end-to-end functionality you want to code manually. You want to model the data type, you want to model the structure, everything. Then you will use this approach. This approach is covered in my UI5 training. If you attend my UI5 training, we are covering OData training there more in detail. There we will use this approach if you want to learn that separately. Then we have the CDS view based OData. In this approach, we use a annotation like we did OData publish. So this approach is used when you are using CDS views for analytical purpose or a particular use case, one particular use case. Here, you don't have a flexibility to adapt this service or change this service. Whatever is the skeleton of your CDS view, same has to be used as it is. It will automatically expose. So you have no way to write custom code or custom enhancements to it. If you want to go pure custom, you go approach number one. Then we have saddle based. Saddle is an approach where you want to combine this SEGW flavor plus CDS flavor. Both you want to combine. Then you go with saddle base. With these two we will cover in our ABAP on HANA training, which we are starting today. Then we have service definition and service implementation approach. This is something which we use in RAP, RESTful Application Programming. One of your colleague was talking about few minutes ago. There we have new techniques called behavior definition, behavior implementation. Then we have service implementation, service definition. So this is a new technique where you can build both the OData V2 type and V4 type. So this is the fourth way of creating OData service. So SAP has given all of this, and I am covering all of this in my different training depending on your need. Now, OData, people think that it is SAP protocol. No, it is Microsoft protocol. It's an open source. There are also ways to create OData services using non-ABAP. So you can use Java also. So in Java, there is a framework called Olingo framework or OData 4J framework. Then there is also another way called Node.js. In the Node.js, there is a framework called NO Data Server framework. Then we have Loopback framework. Then we also have SAP introduced a new framework called CAP, Cloud Application Programming Model. There also you can create .cds definition to create OData service. I am covering everything. आपको जितना सीखना है मेरे साथ सब सीख सकते हो आप. Total different modules are there to learn different ways and different technique. But to start, the right now the problem is I'm confused by looking at internet. On internet there is huge material, and that is totally confusing. Where to learn, what to do, people are confusing me. So close the eyes, start with ABAP on HANA. This will be our first milestone, our first stepping stone to go on this ladder step by step. So if you want to reach here, you can't directly reach, you have to go step by step. So this is our first step. Depending on the need, once your mind will blow up with this part, then you will be asking right questions, and then you will be able to go to different things, different frameworks, which use case to apply what. You will be able to answer that properly in your company. So I have RAP training, UFF training, Fury training, OData training, ABAP on HANA training. We have BTP training, we have CAPM training, we have workflows, web intros, ABAP, oops ABAP, design patterns. Whatever you need, I have it with me. But it requires a step by step approach. मैं आज ही सब कुछ सीख लूं ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है. You can't eat the whole pizza in one gulp. You have to eat bite by bite. But you have to start somewhere, and that is the start which we are doing today in our class.
Anubhav,
Hello,
just
Hello.
one
this
question.
Sonika again. Hello.
Yes, please.
Hello. Yeah, Sonika again. You just actually click the light thing that you're really confused with that what actually should learn. So as you say that the step-by-step approach, can you give us a roadmap like what to how when to I mean what to start and how to reach this roadmap if
So
you
in
can
my
give
opinion, the
us.
roadmap should start with ABAP on HANA. This is the first step. If you are an ABAP consultant, this is the first step towards S4HANA. Then after this, depend on different tasks. If you are a BW consultant, you will go with SAP Analytics Cloud training with me. Then if you are not a BW guy and you want to do application development any application developer, there are two tracks. One track is you wanted to focus on full stack development with SAP S4 HANA system, on-premise systems. Then you can go with UI5 Fury training. And then after this, you can go with Fury advanced training, which covers advanced concept like extension and Fury Launchpad and Fury security. So this is the track. And then you can go with the RAP training, RESTful Application Programming training. This is a good track. This way you will claim yourself as a complete S4HANA consultant. You will have all the approaches and ideas with you. If your company is using, or if you want to remain on S4HANA application development, else you want to go cloud. Then in case of cloud, there are again two approaches. One approach is you want to stick to ABAP language only. You can go with the RAP training. If you don't want to stick to ABAP language, you're going to go to open technologies with cloud. Then you can go with my BTP training. In the BTP training, we will cover Node.js and we will cover cloud application programming model, Access UA, HANA native. So these topics we will cover here in this particular course. So depend on what is your goal. If I am an ABAP developer, let me tell you, if I am an ABAP developer, I will take this track. ये सही track में लूंगा. This is a journey which is 6 to 8 month journey, not a 1 day journey. But the journey has to start from here. This is foundation. If you don't have a foundation, the building will collapse next day. Building cannot sustain without foundation. Your roots has to be strong to get the right fruits and good fruits. If the roots of the tree are not strong, you will never get the fruits. The first typhoon will take away that tree with it. The roots has to be strong. We have to work on roots.
Anubhav, just one
Hi, Anubhav.
question. Amir again.
Yes, Aman.
Just a small question. So it's like an SQL scripting will also be teached during this course of time?
Yes, in this
Because
course,
what I
we will cover
understand in
HANA
yeah,
basics. We will cover SQL
right.
scripting. We will cover
Mm.
CPS, SSE integration, embedded analytics, Fiori elements,
Because like if I
web
want to
syntax.
develop some big application over the CDS, then I need a good knowledge of on the SQL scripting, right?
Yes, yes, we will
So
cover.
that will be
AMDP also we will cover.
okay. So I just wanted to know SQL scripting will be covered
Yes,
then.
yes, we will cover
We
that.
don't need to worry. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hi
Hi,
Anubhav.
Anubhav. Yeah. Hi,
Hi
Zafar here.
Anubhav.
Hello.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hi, my question is for Fiori. As you mentioned, there are two type of Fiori. One is freestyle, and
Mm.
second is Fiori elements.
Yes.
So, is that like we have to learn both things, or we can directly go for Fiori elements? What is the difference between both actually?
Okay. So one approach is, let's say I want to buy a sofa. So like once the new year passed, my wife was telling me, Anubhav, let's change the sofa of our drawing room. I was postponing that since like last 2 years. So finally she caught me and she said, you have to take a new year resolution and you have to change the sofa of your drawing hall. Yeah. So I had two options to choose. One option, I will get a carpenter at home. I will get the raw material and I will get it designed the way I want, fully customized. What is the problem? The problem is cost. Cost will be higher in that approach. But what is the benefit? I will be able to get my sofa at a higher cost, but I will be able to customize. Yes. So if I want to build a sofa, yes, I don't know if this is look like a sofa for you. So there are two options. One is get a carpenter and get it customized.
Hello.
Yes. Another option is I go to
Your
market
voice is audible. Anubhav.
and I will get a ready-made sofa. These are the two options I have. So this is
Okay.
like the option number one, which you see here. This is like Freestyle Fury app,
Hello.
Okay.
where you get full customizing available. I mean, you can design the way you want. Somebody has a Z transaction,
Mm.
उसको exact convert करना है Fury में, इससे हो जाएगा. Ready made.
Okay.
This is Fury element. In the Fury element, you see most of the things are auto generated by framework, like you saw in demo today. Most of the things were auto created by the framework. So in the demo today, you see
Yes.
this.
Yes.
I didn't write a UI element. I didn't drag drop a UI element. I didn't put a button. I didn't put a chart. Everything was automatically generated by
Hello.
interpreting these annotations.
Okay. Okay.
But this
So
is
even
not
if you are going
highly
for ready,
customizable.
we can. But is small customizing possible, right? Is small kind of
Small changes
customizing that
possible.
we
Even
can
you
do.
can inject a fragment. Even you can insert some elements in the middle. But too much of customizing is not possible.
Okay, so as a beginner, we can go for fewer elements also, right?
Yes, yes. That's why this learning track now you
Okay.
can understand. Why am I telling UI5 Fury later? First you will understand ABAP on
Yes.
HANA back end. उसके बाद फ्रंट एंड में जाएंगे अगर जाना है तो आपको.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Anubhav, just a
Great
quick
explanation.
question.
Hi Anubhav, MLK here. Actually, I have one question regarding the course. Not this course actually. You just mentioned in this slide that in the BTP under BTP side, you have mentioned Node.js and XS something like that, right? XS native HANA Node.js will be there, and you have separate course, I guess. Yeah, I have seen in your website this XSA and XSA plus plus. Are these two courses are different, or if I take BTP, then it will cover that particular XSA plus means extended
Hello.
Good question.
XS
So
as well.
let's
So
talk about
actually,
quickly.
basically, I
I
am
can't able
from
to hear
native
everything.
native
Hello.
HANA and analytic developer. So
Hello.
that is why I want to know.
Good question. So any application is consist of three parts predominantly: database, application layer where you write all the logic, and the user interface. Yes. Now What SAP did by introducing HANA, inside this HANA, they have also got a lightweight application server called XSA. People who are using on-premise HANA, where your company is hosting HANA itself within the company, they are going with XSA development course. But companies who want to go
Okay.
HANA cloud, they will go with BTP development course. So if your company is using HANA cloud, go with BTP development course. If your company is using HANA on-premise with XSA, go with the XSA development course.
Okay. So as a native HANA developer, if I want to learn both of them, so do you suggest that, or is there any sequence like I have to learn first that on-premise XSA course and then I have to
Yes,
attend
this is the
then
sequence. If
BTP?
you are a
What do you think?
on-premise developer, then you can go this particular path. This particular path you can do.
Okay. Okay.
So let me see if my screen is
Okay.
open. I am actually having a corporate batch coming tomorrow from Monday. So here we are using BTP. You can see this is the HANA instance running on BTP, and we are doing all this
Okay.
development for them in Business Application Studio for the BTP based HANA. So this is a HANA DB running on BTP, and we are using Capum for them. And their
Okay.
team is
Okay.
currently using on-premise HANA, and they
Okay.
want to migrate everything to cloud. So that's why they are having this training conducted
Okay.
where they want to learn how to migrate their existing Access Advanced projects to HANA Cloud. So there I propose them to
You
go.
have already started that this
No,
training
that is a restricted batch for only corporate
BTP.
companies, not a open batch.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Hello, Anubhav. Hi, Anubhav. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. This is Venkat. I have one doubt actually. Just recently I'm exploring in BTP, and where the BAS is there, right? And you created now one free application in BAS. And is it, can we able to create the same whatever you done on the using BTP in BTP using the BAS, or is it different where you shown that BAS software?
I've done it in BS only, sir. This is BS only. I just changed the color of
No,
BS.
okay. Okay. No, can we able to go? Should we go to BTP and we need to search for BS, and should we
Yes.
navigate like that, or
Yes. You have to go to
okay?
BTP first, and then you have to open
Okay.
BS. So I have to go to
Okay. Okay.
BTP. We will cover this.
Okay.
This is unit number
Okay.
7. In
Mhm.
unit number 7, I will show
Okay.
you all how to set up your BTP account.
Oh, okay. Then, okay. If we want to go to BS, definitely we have to go through BTP only, right? Cloud platform.
Yes, always. Yes, you are right.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
was the
okay.
first
Thank you
one
very
who
much.
got the
Mhm.
YouTube video on Business Application Studio. SAP
Okay.
Business Application Studio, and I was the first one on entire YouTube to bring you an introduction of SAP Business Application Studio.
Oh, okay. One more doubt, actually.
Mhm,
If we actually will integrate, right, our Eclipse system to that HANA system, which is an on-premise HANA system.
mhm.
Okay. We integrated and we developed a CDS. And can we able to expose that in that BAS? That is what you done. Sorry, might
We
be
can also do
might
that,
be my
but that is
question.
not part of this training actually, what we are planning.
Okay. Okay. That means you created the CDS on the cloud system,
Let's keep
whatever
that
you created,
outside.
right?
It is too much confusing for others because it's out of context
Okay.
question. This is not ABAP on HANA question. So maybe if you attend my
Okay.
BTP training, then I will be able to answer that.
Oh, okay. Means actually where it was created now today
It
CDS,
is possible to
is it on?
migrate your data from cloud to on-premise and on-premise to cloud. Even you can build the bridge using CPI.
Okay. And actually, what is my doubt means today where you created actually it's in
Acha,
on-premise
today,
or cloud
so
actually.
today we
Yeah, yeah, today.
build it on on-premise on a HANA system,
Okay.
ABAP on HANA system, and then
Okay.
we expose this data over the web service. This is a web service.
Okay. Okay.
So
Over the
using
web
the
service,
service,
we
using
expose it
the
on to
service,
BS.
I have exposed the data, and that data I was able
Okay.
to consume on BTP. Exactly.
Oh, 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 okay. Okay. Yeah.
That's what
And
Hi,
here
Anubhav.
consumption view. Sorry, one more last doubt. Sorry. You created one consumption view and analytical view, right? Is it mandate to create two CDS views for that means for that output, whatever you shown, right?
Mhm.
That COVID output.
It is not,
Is it
but
is it the
I
way
want
we?
to I want to follow best practice. So in this training, one important
Okay.
thing which you highlighted, very good that you asked this question, that in this training we are not just going to learn building CDS. So you can learn building CDS from internet blogs also. You can go to internet, just search
Correct.
web CDS on Google, you will get 10,000 blogs. You can learn from there also. उसमें क्या है? What is important in this training?
Right.
Training, the important part is I will be taking you through the journey of why it is done like this. Why, what
Okay.
best
Sure.
practices are we using to build CDS? And why should you do things
Okay.
in a certain way? Why I need to develop
Okay.
two views? I could have done the same thing with one view. Obviously, modularization
Yeah.
is one thing. Second thing is best practices. So you will be learning
Okay.
best practices to build CDS view in this training, which is going to
Yeah.
help
Yeah.
you to also digest things which are delivered by SAP.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
That was
Going
my
forward,
intention.
might be I will understand. Might be I ask you now
No,
itself.
no, it was a good
Going
question.
forward, I might understand. Right.
It
Right.
was a good question. But we will do
Yeah.
best practice learning
Anubhav,
actually. Mhm.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Thank you
Anubhav,
very much,
this
Anupam.
is
Thanks.
Anubhav. Hi,
Hi,
hi, Anubhav. This is William. How are you?
I'm
First of
very
all,
good,
I'd
William.
like to express my gratitude. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude for your outstanding training in SAC. It was outstanding, wonderful. I
Thank
have
you.
two questions. How can I use the knowledge and experience that I've gained in this class in BW for HANA? For example, CDS. The second question is, this may be an irrelevant question. Do you touch upon the GitHub concept and how can I use that? And or if not, where can I learn that from you?
Perfect. So first question, BW on HANA. I must admit this is one area where I don't hold too much of knowledge. I know basics of BW concepts like dimensions, measures, and also the concepts of basics of DSOs and backs. But this is one area where I personally admit that I don't have much experience on. So something which I cannot map, it will be unfair that I will tell that I will be able to do that. So in this training, I can teach you CDS. And as far as BW is concerned, in my opinion, BW system is also a ABAP-based system. The layer on which it is built is NetWeaver. So it is a ABAP-based system. Any ABAP-based system above NetWeaver 7.4 support pack 6, it has CDS feature. So as long as you know CDS, you can implement the CDS views there as well. It should be possible. But when it comes to exact use cases, transforming these use cases from S4 to BW on HANA, I'm really sorry, I will not be able to cover in this training. Uh, this is one area where I lag in actually experience. It's not like I lag it because it's like because I wanted to majority of the time remain on application development space. And you see, majority of these courses which I do conduct, they are related to application development predominantly. So I am a hardcore developer. I like coding. So all the courses which you see, majority of them except Analytics Cloud, I have coding experience. So this is what my main cup of tea is. So I never wanted to go into the BW space. Nobody's perfect.
Hi, Anubhav.
Wait, let me answer his second question about GitHub. So GitHub we will not cover in this training. Yet we will cover the GitHub on my UI5 training. But if you just want to learn GitHub, you don't need to attend my UI5 training. I have amazing videos on YouTube to cover basics of GitHub, including the new changes in GitHub which has come. Recent change is called Pat token. That is also covered on my YouTube channel. You can find some videos. There are some detailed videos, like this video is about 1.5 hours. Then there are some short videos which are like quick dose, yeah, quick antibiotics. So you can also take these videos like 10, 20, 30 minutes. How to work with GitHub on Bash, how to work GitHub overall with UI5 projects, how to work GitHub with detail. So there are these couple of videos on my YouTube channel which you can go through. You don't need to buy my trainings for this purpose. So I'll give you the link in the chat window. You can bookmark them. So this is one video I would recommend strongly to understand basics of in and out of GitHub. What is GitHub in detail? This is the second video where you can learn GitHub with Web IDE. And this is the third video where you can learn GitHub with Business Application Studio, how to work with GitHub. You don't have to buy my training for that actually. Yeah, and then there is a recent change in the GitHub with they disabled the password based authentication. So GitHub PAT based authentication in SAP Business Application Studio, SAP Batch. We have also covered a solution for that, which is also available on my channel. Let me just share the video with you. So GitHub PAT or GitHub Access Business Application Studio, personal access token. So yes, this one. So if you try to do your password to authenticate using GitHub nowadays, it is no more allowing. Starting, I guess 11th of November, they stopped password-based authentication on GitHub. So you can watch this video. It will solve your problem if you're facing any problem related to the GitHub push in Bash.
Hi, Anubhav.
Yes. So I hope, William, that answer your questions. Now we move to the next question, please.
Hi, Anubhav.
Hi.
Hi, I do have a two question. We do have a SAP HANA on premise. So can I make analytic based Fiori application which user can use in intranet? Is it possible?
Yes, that will be main goal of this training. You are at right place.
Okay. And second one is if I opt for the live training and someday if I miss the training due to the office hours, so can I get the video recording of the same?
You will get, whether you miss or not miss, you will anyway get every class we will record. And after the class is done, next day morning, 12 o'clock, before that, you will get the video recording in our training blog.
Okay, and the server which we get for the training purpose, that will have how much duration for with us? For 1 month, 2 months?
So that is something which is a la carte. As many months as you want, you
Okay.
can utilize. Shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, Anubhav. Okay, Anubhav. Thank you.
So training and server both are different aspects. You can even have the lifetime access for the server. As and when you need
Okay.
it, you can take it.
Hi, Anubhav.
Okay.
In your team, you have recently discussed that you will give the session of installation of every software and everything. But if I will stuck because I have Mac laptop, if I will stuck, will you guide on that? Is there any team in your training that it will guide to install everything?
No, ma'am. Mac के लिए we will not be able to guide because none of my team member have experience on Mac. So for server related issues, we have a good support. We have a good team. If your user accidentally gets logged or you facing any authorization problem, we will certainly help you. You will be able to practice every single bit of it. Data also we will provide in our server, but Mac installation we will not be able to guide. I will not lie to you.
Okay, because I have that laptop, so how I will practice, that is the problem.
So I guess
Okay.
you have to Google, and I'm really sure that on Google there should be certainly a good number of resources to install GUI and stuff on the Mac. I'm 100% sure should be there because people are using it.
Okay. Okay, Anubhav.
Sir, there is one more question. In if after every class, do you get assignments? This is my first question. And the second question is, do we really able to work on a real time scenarios or projects so that I can I can include that in my resume and while in the interview also.
Yes, so you will be certainly getting the simple use cases. So I will be sharing with you small exercises which you guys can try. And of course, there will be lots of real-time like scenarios. We will be utilizing a procurement model. I will hardly use flight tables, which we used to use in the past. So we will have EPM model, which is more of a real-time model, which has sales orders and purchase orders and business partners and
Yeah, yeah.
suppliers and all sorts of data. So that will be helping you a lot to be
Hmm.
able to practice things.
Okay, and
So
I can include it in the interview process also. I can tell
Yes,
them
you can
that I
tell.
have worked on
We
this
have
real-time
something India
scenarios.
use case, which is IDOC
Yes.
dashboard. So you can easily tell that you build
Okay.
kind of a dashboard in your company, just in case in your company doesn't
Yes,
give you the
yes.
requirement like that.
Yes, and sir, and that those videos will be with us till 8 months, right?
Yes.
And not for lifetime.
So you can extend it. We will not
So
charge you
for
again the course fee. We will just charge you the storage fee of these videos into the cloud. So you will not be charged again the entire course fee actually. So you will be able to access them without any problem.
okay, and the material, study material, should we get the study materials and all?
So everything will be provided through something called a blog access. So we will be providing you a blog access, and this blog access will be
Mm-hmm.
a kind of a self-service where you will be able to get and download the other material like source code and all. So let me quickly share with you all our training blog access. So those who once you sign up, you will receive an email from my team, which will have a link something like this, where you will have this blog access. So here you see the session recording, and then you will see the videos will come here, all the videos one by one, once the classes are getting
So
conducted.
this blog access will be remain with us for 8 months, and then we have
Yes,
again have
yes,
to recharge it, right? And the
yes.
study material also will be,
Study
everything will be
material
for
you
eight
can
months.
download. So you go to study material tab here in the block, and you can
Mm-hmm.
click and you can download everything.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay.
And then class schedule. Someone was asking about link for joining tomorrow's class. So once you receive this access, you go to class schedule and you see these appointments which are already scheduled for weekends. And you can click on the appointment, and then you will be able to get the link to join the class. So it's a full self-service. You don't have to email or ask people to do anything. I will also introduce you about everything on this blog access in next class once we start.
is this course useful for BPC, and what path BPC consultant should follow?
So business planning and consolidation consultant, in my opinion, should go with analytics cloud training, because that's where we do nowadays planning activities in cloud, which includes what if analysis, simulations, value driver trees. Then we have update scenarios. We have data actions, planning sequence, planning execution, BPC planning sequences, all the finance related activities. So for them, I would recommend to go with the analytics cloud training.
Hello,
Hello,
Anubhav,
Anubhav,
Kishore
sorry,
this side.
for this
Hello.
ABAP on HANA is required.
Hello.
Yes, one by one, please. Kishore, please go ahead,
Uh,
Kishore.
Yeah, so after finishing the classes, I mean course, if there is any doubt, then how we can ask?
I will share my mail ID, so you can always shoot an email. And we also have a forum on our website, which I will introduce, where you can ask questions with fellow participants.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anubhav, do we get any training certificate after completion of this training?
If you complete, you will get it.
Hello.
Next question, please.
But Vijay this side.
Hey, Vijay.
Yeah. So my basically I am planning to attempt a certification, means SAP certification. So is it possible
Mhm.
based on just this training that we can complete the certification, or we have to do something
Yes,
else
very
and
good question.
go for some other material?
Very good question. So there is a
Okay.
certification called C HANA AW70. This is exactly what we are covering in this training. You will be able to become a ABAP on HANA 2.0 specialist certification exam after completing this training. I will also guide you through the complete process of certification to all of you in this training. Yes. And time to time, I will
Okay.
also cover the important certification questions in this training. So after completing this training, you should be able to appear and clear this exam very easily. So that we will certainly
Uh,
be part of this training. So you will not have any problem when it comes to working and getting certified actually. Yeah. So this is something certainly we will do as part of this training. So you'll be able to easily get closer to the certification. So let me tell you, I have already completed 6 certifications last year. One was ABAP on HANA 2.0. This is the one specialist one, which is the ABAP on HANA training. Then I have done ABAP, HANA 2.0 XSA development, SAP BTP, SAP Fiori Administrator, SAP Analytics Cloud, and SAP Fiori Application Developer. So these are all the certifications which I have already completed last year. So I will be able to also guide during my courses some of the important certification questions which usually come in exam.
Thank you.
So the complete process I will guide you through.
And
Unit number 19.
so, Anubhav, hi, Nafeet here.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I was also having a similar question on certification. So good that was answered. The other one is on the server access. So I have my company server, but there are too much of approval and too much of requests. So I would like to get a server for myself. So isn't it a Windows server that will be given where the SAP GUI, ADT, and all pre-installed, or how is
Yes,
that
that also you
when
will
I
get.
purchase a
Plus,
server?
you will get direct connectivity from your local GUI. So if you have SAP GUI
Okay.
installed in your local computer, you can directly connect. No VPN required.
Okay, thank you. And just one more, the link that you shared. So I enrolled for the course, and I have received the link for which the course says batch 19. So I have received the old link,
Please
isn't it?
ask my
I haven't
team
got
to
access.
port you to the live batch. So they will port you.
Okay,
So someone else also had same concern. So if you are concerned that you were not enrolled for the live batch, please send an email to my team asking that please port me to the live batch. I don't want video batch, I want live batch. So then you will get
okay,
the new link which will have the live batch, and you will be able to attend regular classes.
thank you.
Hey, Anubhav.
Ha-
I missed a part of the initial lecture. I mean, is it possible to go back and check any recording just in case? I mean, there's a YouTube link. Is it uploaded there?
Yes. So today's class, it's a demo, and this is also uploaded on YouTube.